On the island of Newfoundland, upon the southwest coast, lies the little town of Virgil, to whom I'll sing this toast. There are so many highlands that lie just off her shore, and when the cold north wind blows, you can hear the billows roar. The people from the village make their living from the sea. They like their independence, it shows that they are free. Some fish in their small boats in the wind, the rain and sleet, while others make their living on the offshore trawler fleet. They've known their share of tragedies down through the years, and when the memories overcome, they show their grief with tears. For they have lost some loved ones to the furies of the seas, for heartaches and heartbreaks are locked in memories. This village, it's got beauty carved on its rugged shore. 7 miles of pure white sand, who could ask for more? The mountains and the valleys where the rivers run so fast, and the salmon rise to the sportsman's fly as he makes another cast. Now the people of this village love their native home, for anyone who goes away most surely will return. Just like that lifelong mystery, the answer you won't know. What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul? What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul?
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have Riff's closing, ACW spring sale, a Service Canada representative, a news release from our MHA Calvin Parsons. Please stay tuned for these stories and more after this. Try your luck and play TV bingo on Wednesday, sponsored by the grad class. Cards are 6 for $5 and can be bought from any grad student or in most stores around town. This week, Burgeo got the news that Riff's department store will be closing their doors here in Burgeo. Riff's have been in Burgeo now for 20 years this past November. It currently employs 5 people. The employees got the notice of closure on Monday, which came as a shock to them. They had no idea that it was going to close. It could remain open anywhere from 1 month to 6 months, depending on how fast the merchandise is sold. As of now, they do not know what the plans are for the building, other than that it will be sold. Risk will be missed here in Burgeo. Not everyone has the means to go across to Cornbrook and Stephenville when needing to buy clothes or other department store items. The ACW held a spring sale on Thursday. There were tables set up with baked goods, knickknacks, game of chance, and tickets were sold on different items. Brenda Strickland, the ACW president, welcomed everyone to the sale. And Reverend Bellis opened with a prayer.
Lord, we give you thanks this day that you provide for us and the bounty of your creation. We give thanks that you provide opportunities for us to get together as friends and to fellowship. Lord, we acknowledge now your presence among us. We ask you to bless everything that has been brought here and bless us in your service. Amen.
The ACW would like to thank all those who came out and made their sale such a great success. A representative from Service Canada came by the studio to explain the Canada Education Saving Plan and the Apprenticeship Incentive Grant. Tonight in our studios, we have Paul Allwell from Service Canada. Good evening.
Good evening.
So what brings you down to Burgeo?
Right now I'm actually in Burgeo promoting a couple of programs that have been developed by the federal government and are being promoted by Service Canada. So I'm just here in town looking after that.
Okay. So what are the programs that are being promoted?
There's two programs actually. The first one is the Apprenticeship Incentive Grant. The grant is mainly focused towards people who are doing trades training or planning on going into trades training. The program involves two $1,000 grants upon successful completion of block training. So after you complete one block, you get a grant that goes towards your next block. The maximum is $2,000, but as I tell people, it's $2,000 that you don't have to work for and you don't really have to report as income.
Okay.
The second grant actually has two components for it. It's the Canada Education Savings Plan. It has the Canada Education Savings Grant and the Canada Learning Bond as two separate parts to it. Both require that you have an RESP set up, but once you have the RESP set up, everybody is eligible for the Canada Education Savings Grant. It provides a 20% to 40% contribution from the federal government based on whatever you contribute in your child's RESP that year. The second one is the Canada Learning Bond, is mainly for younger and low-income families, and that is actually $500 that the federal government will deposit in your child's RESP free of charge, as well as an additional $100 per year every year that you get the baby bonus, which is fairly common actually.
Okay. Okay then. So where can the people go to get the information on this stuff?
People can drop by local banks to get information on the Canada Education Savings Plan, or you might be able to get some information on it at the hospital. As far as the Apprenticeship Incentive Grant, you can get information on that actually here at your local EAS office. If you just drop by, they should have lots of information on it for you.
Okay, very good. So anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, that's all.
Okay, well, very good. Well, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Our MHA Calvin Parsons sent out a news release challenging the decision to approve sale of Burgeo turbot quotas. He states that the sale of the quotas is wrong, and the federal government should explain why they would allow such a transfer. In 1991, Bellberry took over the quotas and fish plant in Burgeo from National Sea. In approving this deal, the federal government attached a number of terms and conditions to the allocation of redfish and turbot quotas and the processing of these quotas at the Burgeo plant. Burgeo has continued to be treated unfairly in the fish plant as very little processing, says Mr. Parsons. First, the red fish quota was taken from Burgeo and processed at the Barry plant in Kansas, Nova Scotia. Now he has been permitted to sell the 1,650 tons of turbot quota to John Risley for processing in Nova Scotia, something the federal government should never have approved. It is obvious that Mr. Barry made millions from this turbot over the years, and he is receiving millions more with this sale. Unfortunately, the people of Burgeo haven't been so lucky as outmigration continues and the fish plant remains idle. This week's video features the Burgeo plant.
Two, three, four. Dark windows and silent rooms and empty concrete floors, rusty steel beaten by the wind, battered wharves and chain link fencing guarding long locked doors. When will you light up again? Generations come and gone, toil within your walls, thought the bounty of the sea would never end. Now you hold no hope or guarantee, your voice no longer calls. Will you ever shine your lights again? Well, silent rooms filled with light and sound of human voice, will we see the promise once more? Will we sing our songs of days gone by, celebrate our love, or pack our bags and leave forevermore? This lonely place was filled with hope of better days to come, but circumstances brought that to an end. Decisions made in boardrooms far never left a crumb, but we still hope you'll shine your lights again. Well, silent rooms filled with light and sound of human voice, will we see the promise once more? Will we sing our songs of days gone by, or celebrate our love, or pack our bags and leave forevermore? Well, silent rooms filled with light and sound of human voice, will we see the promise once more? Will we sing our songs of days gone by, or celebrate our love, or pack our bags and leave forevermore? Or pack our bags and leave forevermore?
This concludes our programming for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.